His mercies are new every morning. Hindi siya yung, alam mo yun, yung excess lang kinabukasan, di ba? Hindi po ganun ang Panginoon.
Every day new.
Every day it's new. So great, really, is thy faithfulness.
Are you ready to level up your leadership? We all need to fill our cup before we can pour out to others. Let's clear out any blocks and clogs through this series and find our leadership flow.
Alright, episode 17 ng Victory Baliwag Leadership Flow, where we help ourselves, so our leaders, to flow in their leadership. Kamusta ka naman ko, sir? Happy to have you back.
Oo, Pastor Loyd. It's been a while, so I'm happy to be here as well, Pastor Loyd.
Yeah. And we're gonna talk about problems ng mga leaders. Alam natin may mga problems sa health, and even cancer, and even na kahit ganun yung mga nangyayari, they're believing and trusting God for the situation. Some lost loved ones, parents, even may mga tao na sobrang tagal ng leader, pero parang gusto na nilang mag-quit ngayon. Hindi naman dahil ayaw na nila kay Lord, pero naisip nila, hindi ko naman nakikita yung breakthrough. Wala namang nasisave. Parang ganun yung siguro yung naisip nila. And even mga statistics would tell us 40% of pastors considered quitting in the last COVID years. And so, yan ang mga nakikita ko kung bakit kailangan ng leadership. Tama ba yung mga shinare ko? O may gusto ka pa idagdag?
Actually, Pastor Lloyd, nung sinasabi niya yan, feeling ko, dapat ba ako nandito? Makinig na lang din kaya ako. Kasi totoo po, nakaka-relate din po ako with all the finances, financial struggles, death. Yan. So, even yung quitting.
Yeah. And so, we're gonna take a look at Lamentations chapter 3. Now, interesting itong Lamentations, puro 22 verses, no? Yung chapter 1, 22 verses. Chapter 2, 22 verses. Puro lament, no? Talagang puro hugot. Okay, this is the hugot. Pati si Jeremiah raw yung nagsulat nito dahil sila ay na-thrown out sa kanilang sariling bansa, sariling worship hall. Sila ay, kaya they practically lost everything. Tapos, no, chapter 3, 66 verses, tatlong 22, triple the horror. Okay, tapos bumalik uli sa chapter 4, 22 verses, chapter 5, 22 verses. So basically, it's a poem of 22 verses na puro lament. But hopefully, merong isa sa gitna. Yan. Sa dami ng horror na ito, there will be a spark of hope. Okay, makikita natin, parang may naisingit dun si Jeremiah. So that is our hope. And so, bibilisan ko lang, no, yung mga, para makita lang nila, kagamukha nito. Lamentations 3, verse 1, may affliction, may wrath, driven and brought into darkness without any light. Imagine mo, wala nang liwanag sa dilim. Yun yung against me, He turns His hand. Okay, you feel like the hand of the Lord is against us, and He has made my flesh and my skin waste away. He has broken my bones, and even the Lord is causing the waste, no? Maybe allowing it to have. Siguro yung naisip natin. Bitterness. Bitterness. Dwell in darkness. Walled. May walling. Walling. And chains are heavy. Ito matindi. Verse 8, He shuts out my prayer. Okay, you pray, and the Lord does not seem to listen. Verse 9, He blocked my ways and made my paths crooked. Bear lying in wait for me like a lion in hiding. Meaning, si Lord para daw blood sucking animal, no? To which, Lord, talagang gusto mo kunin lahat. Meron pa. But wait, there's more. Chapter 13, drove into my kidneys arrows. Yeah. Naisip ko lang yung mga nagdialysis sa church. May ganun palang verse. Laughing stock, meaning wala nang parang nawala na yung honor, no, sa community. Paano pa tayo mag-share ng gospel? Pinagtatawa lang pala tayo. I have forgotten what happiness is. Nako, Coach Sarah, parang gusto mo mag-comment dyan. Have you forgotten what
Di ka
happiness? And ito pa, endurance has perished. No more endurance. Kung Sarah, medyo sobra na akong discouraged dito. Pero ito, sa susunod, dito siguro I'll ask you to comment. Ito na maganda. Verse 21. Ito na siguro yung spark of
Yes,
hope. No?
Pastor Loyd.
And even in 5 chapters of horror, there is a spark of hope. But, okay, sa Tagalog, ngunit, I call to mind, and therefore, I have hope. And si Jeremiah, in the midst of all of the horror in his leadership, he calls forth not a change of circumstance, but a change of mind. So, ikaw, Coach Sarah, how do you try to remind yourself of the Lord even in horror
Yes.
situations?
Actually, Pastor Loyd, iba to eh. As I look back, kasi maybe you know, pero not all people, hindi naman nila alam yung testimony eh, no? Ako before, I believe I've experienced that. All financial crisis, financial struggles, even death when I lost my dad. Diba? Even yung quitting in the ministry, I feel like I was a laughing stock. Lahat po yan talaga pinagdaanan ko. And there was really a time that I'm really losing my faith. I'm really losing hope in God. Na, Lord, nasaan ka ba talaga? Considering that well, I grew up in a family of Christians. Di ba? I think ikaw din, pero po tayo eh, di ba? Yeah, so, but then, even ganun yung sitwasyon, growing up, I've really seen battles. And your question is, paano ako nakahanap ng hope? You know, Pastor Lloyd, every time that I look back, I look at my life now, and I look back, all I can say is what I have now is way, way better than what I have prayed before.
That's good.
Yun po talaga. Yung buhay na meron ako ngayon is something that I have prayed to God for before. And it's really a change of perspective, a change of mindset. Siguro ang question ko, Pastor Lloyd, every single time I'm going through trials, ang question ko is, saan ba ako nakatingin?
Yeah.
Yun po yung lagi kong tinatanong sa sarili ko, saan ba ako nakatingin? Because I came to that point in my life to just, alam mo po, being grateful of even the air that I breathe. Pero minsan kasi, Pastor Lloyd, let's be honest eh, minsan ayaw na din natin tanggapin yun eh, di ba? Yung humihinga pa ako, di ba? Ang hiyok naman na nga. But, you know, it's really, yun po talaga, every single time that I look back, I'm realizing that what I have now is way, way better than what I have prayed for to God before.
Awesome. So a change of mind means a change of focus. So basically, si Jeremiah even here is a very deep pit, no? Para siyang nasa balon ng kadiliman. And so what does he change his mind about? Verse 22, it says there, the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. And so, to the mind of Jeremiah, it seems that 70 years na exile sila. 70 years is parang unending, no? Pero naisip Jeremiah, hindi, mas mahaba pa sa 70 years yung pagmamahal ng Lord. At yung His mercies will never come to an end. Even things are growing worse. He changed his mind. So tama ka, no? Yung focus mula sa pit to focusing to the steadfast love of the Lord and His mercies that never come to an end. How great is that mercy? Sabi ng verse 25, they are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. So amazing, no? Even in a great deep pit that you are in, the faithfulness of God never stops. And siguro may tatlong bagay that I would like us to comment on. How do you actually do that? No, that even in a very deep and dark situation, how do you turn? It's not a change of circumstance, but a change of mind, no? A change of focus. And so verse 25, sabi doon, the Lord is good to those who wait for Him, to the soul who seeks Him. So I think the first thing that we want to comment about is wait for the Lord. So I think ayaw natin mag-wait, pero actually, when all things are lost, then you have no choice but to wait. There's nothing na, So that brings about hope. What can you say sa waiting for the Lord?
I think, Pastor Lloyd, kasi we have this mindset that we think this waiting is wasting.
Mhm.
Minsan siguro yun yung naiisip natin eh. When we wait, we waste. We
Yeah.
waste time. We waste energy. But, I think in the waiting, we're actually gaining.
Yeah.
Because we're gaining the presence of God. Diba? We're actually gaining even yung patience. We're gaining patience as we wait for the Lord. Diba? We are gaining trust in the Lord as we wait for the Lord. And siguro, Pastor Loyd, it's really important to go back dun sa verse before that that the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. Diba? Kasi yun yung foundation, yun yung pangahawakan mo eh. You can only wait for someone whom you know is faithful. Diba? Whom you know is loving. So, yun, Pastor Loyd. It's not really a waste. It's actually a gain.
Yeah. So, we're not really gonna do just waiting, no? But active waiting. No? So, kinlarify din ni Jeremiah sa susunod na verse is to the soul who seeks Him. So, waiting for the Lord really means to seek the Lord. So, okay, you're waiting. So, what are you gonna do? You pray, no? Lord, ano ba ako aalisin sa ganitong sitwasyon? Paulit-ulit na lang. Ikot-ikot lang. Am I missing the point? Kaya, you show me. Maybe I'm not really aware of what's happening. So, how important is prayer in a very dark situation?
It's the only thing that will sustain you. Minsan, Pastor Loyd, ako, to be honest, all I can do is to sigh. Alam mo yun, yung magbuntong hininga na lang talaga ako kay God. Pero I realize that minsan yung prayer life natin, parang siyang heartbeat eh.
Yeah.
Diba? Yung parang pataas, pababa. Pero wag lang talaga siyang magfa-flatline. Kasi kapag nawala yung prayer life, ang ending talaga nun, flatline. So, it's very important to seek God. Diba? To really come to Him. No pretensions, Pastor Loyd. Na hindi mo sasabihin na, okay ako, Lord, kaya kakausapin kita. Diba?
Yeah.
Pero hindi eh. Diba? Hindi ako okay, Lord. Kaya kakausapin kita.
Yeah. And so, yes, we sought the Lord. Now, the next thing that Jeremiah does is sit alone in silence. Siyempre, nagtatanong ka kay Lord. No? Makinig ka. Okay? So, last thing to change your mind and not really change your situation. Of course, in the end, the situation is going to change. Is actually to sit alone in silence. And I know, maraming morning worship and prayer, may Victory Baliwag Leadership Flow, podcast, ang dami. No? Pero so hopefully, every once in a while, talagang no podcast, no phone, talagang manahimik ka. I think, kaya nga ang ganda nung, hindi Apple Pen, ball pen. Kasi yung Apple Pen, mas malamang, mapupunta rin sa Facebook yun eh. So, ang saya talaga when nagsusulat.
Yes. Ako sa tingin ko po kasi, maganda yun talaga, Pastor, yung nagsusulat kay. Kasi may focus nga eh. Balik tayo dun sa kanina, di ba? May focus kasi kapag nagsusulat kay. Siguro lang din po, minsan kasi takot tayo sa dead air.
Yeah.
Yun po siguro talaga yung isa sa mga bagay na that's why we don't want to sit alone in silence. Di ba? Kasi may takot tayo sa dead air. Pero ang prayer ko, Pastor Loyd, for the leaders, for each one of us, is that in the silence, God's voice will be so felt. Di ba?
Yeah.
Kumbaga, may the voice of God fill the place of silence. So, that's my prayer. That's my prayer for each one of us. So,
masayang-masaya yung mga mga introvert dito. Pero yung mga extrovert malungkot. Pero whether introvert ka or extrovert ka, I think we all need it. No? Time of silence. Now, ito na yung sobrang spark of hope. Sabi dun sa verse 32. So, pag ginawa mo yun, you change your mind, not your situation, change your focus. So, how do you do that? You actually seek the Lord, wait on the Lord, and even sit alone in silence. So, there is a reversal here. Sa gitna lang, no? Sa chapter 3 lang. Tapos, puro masasama na naman yung mangyayari sa chapter 4 and 5. But, so there's a reversal. Though He caused grief, meaning, si Lord, ina-allow din talaga niya yung mga pinagdadaanan natin. He will have compassion according to the abundance of His steadfast love. And parang sandwich yung lamentation, Pero at the center of it, verse 32 is the compassion of God. the center of all the horror is the faithfulness of God. And so, siguro, just before I allow you to give your last comment, naalala ko lang yung kanta ni Thomas Chris Home, no? Great is thy faithfulness,
Yes.
O God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not. And you see here, thy compassions, they fail not. Doon galing yun sa
Yes.
verse 32. As thou hast been, thou forever will be. Yes, you have troublesome situations, but the compassions of the Lord is way longer than that. No? Tapos na yung problema mo, pero yung love ni Lord, yung mercies niya is going on and on. And last ideas here, no? Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, nandun din yun sa verse, new mercies I see. All I have needed in the end, thy hand had provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Final comments to encourage our leaders.
Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. That's all I can say, Pastor Loyd, kasi there's no words to explain the faithfulness of God.
Yeah.
Diba? There's really no words that could, alam mo yun, na magpapaliwanag kung gaano katapat ang Panginoon. And siguro, Pastor Loyd, I believe that I feel like yung ministerial lang na I believe madami po ang nanonood ngayon that's undergoing through something, a trial, a situation, a challenge. My prayer for each one of you right now is you will feel the warmth embrace of God.
Yeah.
Because even if we change, lahat tayo nagbabago tayo eh. But the character of God never changes.
Yeah, that's good.
He is great. He is faithful.
Yes.
And that's enough. His mercies are new every morning. Hindi siya yung, alam mo yun, yung excess lang kinabukasan, di ba? Hindi po ganun ang Panginoon.
Every day new.
Every day
Yeah.
it's new. So great, really, is thy faithfulness. And I just wanna go back to what I said before, Pastor Loyd. Ulitin ko lang, yung ako personally, what I have now really is way, way better than I have prayed to God for before. So, I think ganun din po sa atin.
Yeah.
I believe that God is doing something in your life because He will never fail you. He will never fail you,
Yeah.
Pastor Loyd.
How to flow in your leadership. Rely on the faithfulness of God. God bless you.